Namaste. Hello my dear students. Welcome back to online classes brought to you by Vivekananda PU College. I am Suprit Gezi. In today's class, we are beginning with a new chapter in biology known to be biomolecules. Biomolecules. What exactly mean by biomolecules then? Biomolecules andre enu? Before going to narrate the story of biomolecules, you must know, my dear students, what exactly mean by metabolism. Okay, metabolism. What do you mean by metabolism? Metabolism is a set of reaction, all the set of reaction happening in an organism or the body of an organism. It is all the set of reaction happening in organism or in the system of an organism. Maybe the respiration process, digestive process, these are the examples of metabolism, correct? Even you can find two classification in metabolism. One is anabolism, another one is catabolism, right? Anabolism, yes, then into catabolism. As the name says, anabolism, catabolism. Okay. Here you can find a synthesis of a molecule from the very simple molecules, or here you can find out the production of a substance, okay, from the single units. What about the catabolism, breaking down? Here the big substance undergoes a division or the breaking down process, in which you can find out the very small substance from the bigger part of a substance. That is catabolism. Catabolism means a breaking of a substance. Anabolism means assembling of something. Okay, from the small subunit, or if you assemble these subunits, a small subunit into one, you can find out a great one, a little more larger one. That is known to be the anabolism. Catabolism, it is a reaction in which a bigger molecule, a bigger substance undergoes a set of reaction in which it is converted into very small pieces. That is catabolism. Just you know about anabolism and catabolism is a type of metabolism, but metabolism is all the set of reaction which is happening in a body of an organism. Okay, fine. What exactly mean by biomolecules then? Dear students, as I told you, here you can find out a reaction in metabolism, right? All the set of reaction which is happening in the body of an organism known to be the metabolism. So biomolecule, okay, it is a chemical or the substance, okay, it is a chemical or the substance which is taking part in a metabolic process. Any molecule, any substance which is taking part in your metabolism or metabolic process called as biomolecules. This is important. Any substance or molecule taking part in a metabolic process, called as biomolecule. I repeat, any substance or a molecule taking part in a metabolic process is called biomolecules. Any substance or a molecule taking part in metabolic process called as a biomolecule. Okay, what are the examples of biomolecule? Carbohydrate, you have studied, right? Carbohydrates, proteins, fatty acid, nucleotides, all are the examples of your biomolecules. Fine? Okay. Then, how do you find out this? Okay. How do you come across the analysis of chemical compounds or the chemical composition of an organism when acquired? How do you know that? Okay. In the body of any organism, we can find the organic substance, even inorganic substance too. Okay, in any body of an organism, you can find organic substance as well as inorganic substance. Okay. How do we analyze the organic constituents of an organism, inorganic constituents of an organism? Okay, let us see. How do you going to analyze that? Fine. So, first let us analyze the organic constituents of a body. Okay, organic constituent. Okay, organic constituents of an organism. Okay, organic constituents of an organism. Analyzing organic constituents. Okay. You take any tissue of an organism or liver of an organism or the mass of cells of an organism. Okay, tissue or any liver or cell mass, you take particular organism, you take that. Okay. Then by using pestle and mortar, this is the apparatus looking like this. Okay, you can start to grinding it. You take a tissue or a liver, okay, to this pool, to this area inside this. This is a tissue or a liver piece. Then add trichloroacetic acid. Trichloroacidic acid. TCA, trichloroacidic acid. Okay, to this apparatus. Okay, and start to grinding well. You have presence of trichloroacidic acid as well as the tissue in your this apparatus and start to grind well. Okay, till you can find out the fine materials in that. Okay, till you can find fine materials. Okay, after this process, filter it out. Okay, whatever the liquid constituents you have, or the whole tissue is grinded up and converted in a liquid form. Okay, that constituent you take and filter it out. Okay, filter it out. After the filtration, if you take this as a filter one, okay, filter paper or any cotton wool, okay, you take this and you pour this content here, pour, okay, and at here, okay, you can find the liquid content which is soluble in acid pole, okay, acid pole, known to be the acid pole, or filtrate. This is filtrate, which can pass through this filter paper. Okay, the liquid you pour from here, and whatever the content which can easily pass through this filter paper will be collected here, right? That is known to be the filtrate, okay, or permeate. The thing whichever left behind here, okay, whatever the content left behind here, known to be the retentate. Filtrate as well as retentate. You will be having the presence of filtrate as well as retentate. Okay. You take this one acid soluble pool, this is insoluble pool, acid insoluble pool, this is soluble pool. Trichloroacid, whatever the content dissolved in trichloroacidic acid will be collected here, which is not insoluble will be collected here. You take this one, the acid soluble pool, and start to analyze the chemical composition present here. Analyze this. Okay. We have many apparatus to analyze this one. Okay, we have many analytic procedures. We have to analyze whatever the things is present in this acid soluble pool. Okay, by checking all that, we can find out there is a presence of organic content or the organic substance. What are the organic substance you can find? You can find carbon content, oxygen, okay, then even hydrogen. All these things you can find out, okay, in the organic as a organic substance. How do you analyze the inorganic substance? Okay, analyzing the inorganic substance. Analyzing inorganic substance. Okay, organic one means there is a presence of carbon. Here there is no presence of carbon. In how do you analyze the inorganic content or the substance in a living tissue? Again, you take a tissue you take, or liver piece you take, or any cell mass you take. Okay, then allow it to dry. Let it dry for a time being. Okay, after dry, whatever the water content is present in the tissue will be evaporate, right? Correct? So you will be getting a dry mass or dry mass. Yes? Okay. Now you burn this well, burn it so that the carbon dioxide content, the water content, whatever present in this dry mass will be evaporate. Now whatever the things left behind is known to be the ash. In this ash you can find out the presence of inorganic substance. Okay, inorganic substance like sulfur, then phosphorus. So like that the inorganic constituents you can find. Take a tissue, dry it well so that water will be evaporating. Left behind known to be the dry mass, which is containing your carbon dioxide as well as water, small amount of water. Burn it well so that it is converted as a ash. When you take a chemical composition or analyze this ash, you can find out the inorganic substituents such as your sulfates or sulfur or phosphorus content. This is about the analyzing part of organic and inorganic substance. Okay. Now we got to know in any organic, in any living tissue or organism containing organic as well as inorganic substance, organic and inorganic substance. Fine. Okay, we have studied what is biomolecule and what are the, how do you know the presence of organic as well as inorganic content in a particular organism or the chemical composition of an organism. Fine. As you know, my dear students, if you take a elemental analysis, if you do the elemental analysis, you can find whatever the elements present in an organism, body of an organism. If you take a elemental analysis, you can find out the presence of different elements in an organism. Okay. The same way, if you do a compound analysis, you can find out the presence of organic as well as inorganic, substance in an organism. Okay. So these are the procedure in which we can find out the presence of different chemicals in the body. It may be organic one, it may be inorganic one, even though it is elements. Okay. So that we are got to know many chemicals are present in a living present in the body of a living organism, in which we are going to classify based on a biological point of view. Biological point of view. Biologic point of view, we are going to classify that. Okay. In biological point of view, if you are going to classify the chemicals whichever you are concluded here, okay, so I can broadly classify as carbohydrates, then into proteins, then fats, okay, nucleic acid, okay. Like this, I am going to classify the chemicals into a biological point of view. One is a carbohydrate, proteins, fats, nucleic acid. Done? Okay. These are the things you must know, my dear students. Okay. If you take a living tissue and find out what are the inorganic constituents you have, whatever the inorganic substance you have, how do you know that? Okay. You can find out if you do all these analysis, and you can conclude, if you can conclude in such a way that the organism, the living organism which is containing the inorganic substances like sodium, you can find out the presence of sodium, potassium, even calcium, magnesium, okay. These are all the things you can find. If you do all these analysis, and if you want to ask me whatever the organic content you can find out, you can find carbon, you can find oxygen, you can find hydrogen, you can find nitrogen. Fine? Okay. Just we have discussed whatever the chemical composition, okay. But through the chemical composition, whatever the presence of organic and inorganic substance we can see, okay. Based on that, I can categorize this into on the biological point of view, I can categorize this into carbohydrate, proteins, fats, nucleic acid, etc. Fine. So we have studied what is biomolecule, what are the chemical composition, and how we are classify these chemicals in a biological point of view. That is nothing but your carbohydrate, your proteins, fat, nucleic acid, etc. Fine. Okay. These are about just the introduction part of your biomolecules. Okay. Let us directly get into the actual content. Okay. What is a metabolite? By taking a definition of biomolecules, we are going to discuss what you mean by metabolite. Okay. Metabolite. Metabolite. What is a metabolite? Okay. So metabolite is just nothing but a substance, okay, which is produced, or taking part in metabolic process or in metabolism. Okay. I repeat, what you mean by metabolite is a substance in which is produced or taking part in metabolism or metabolic process, known to be the metabolite. Okay, plural metabolites, substance which is produced or taking part in metabolism, known to be the metabolite or metabolites. Okay. These metabolites are having very low molecular weights which is very low or less, and these metabolites which is whatever I am discussing here, they are restricted as very small molecules, okay, which is restricted or restricted as small molecules. I repeat, okay, metabolite is a substance in which is produced or taking part in the metabolism, which is having a low molecular weight and restricted as small molecules, metabolite. These metabolite is classified as two, okay. One is the primary metabolite and the one is secondary metabolite. Primary metabolite, second one is secondary metabolite. Primary metabolite as well as secondary metabolite. These are the two classification you can find in a metabolite as metabolite. Okay. What is a primary metabolite and what is a secondary metabolite? Okay. The definition is very simple. The primary metabolite is a substance which is directly taking part in growth and development of an organism and even the reproduction of an organism or reproductive process of an organism. Primary metabolites are the substance which directly taking part, okay, which is directly taking part in or directly involved in your growth, normal growth, development as well as reproduction of an organism. Directly involved in growth, development as well as reproduction of an organism. What about the secondary metabolite? Secondary metabolite are the substance which is not directly involved in a growth, development and reproduction of an organism. Because the secondary metabolite, whatever we are discussing here, they are produced or synthesized from primary metabolites. They are produced or synthesized from primary metabolites. Okay, primary and secondary metabolites. What are the examples of primary metabolites? What are the examples of secondary metabolites? Okay, the best example of primary metabolites is your sugar, triglycerides, etc. Okay, sugar, triglycerides are primary metabolites. Your sugar, triglycerides are known to be the primary metabolites. Okay. The best example for secondary metabolites are toxins, alkaloids, drugs are secondary metabolites. Okay. Sugar, triglycerides are the examples of primary metabolites. Toxins, alkaloids and drugs are known to be the secondary metabolites. So we have discussed what is a primary metabolite, what is a secondary metabolites, right, and even what are the examples of a primary and secondary metabolites. Okay. let us see different classification or the types of secondary metabolites which is present in our biosphere. Okay, fine. Let us draw a table. Not necessary. Okay. Dear students, we can find out many chemicals which are known to be the secondary metabolites in our nature. So first you take, if you want to take a pigments. In pigments, I am talking about secondary metabolites. Different classes of chemicals present in different secondary metabolite. The first one, if you take as pigments, if you take a pigments, you can find out carotene, even anthocyanin. These are the chemicals which are comes under the pigments. Okay, carotenes, anthocyanins are the secondary metabolite which are comes under class pigments. Okay, then if you take alkaloids, alkaloids. The examples of alkaloids are morphines, codeine, morphine, codeine are the secondary metabolites which are comes under class known to be the alkaloids. And even we have terpenoids. Okay, terpenoids. Okay, monoterpene, diterpene. They are the examples of class terpenoids. Pigments, carotenes, anthocyanin, alkaloids, morphine, codeine, terpenoids, monoterpene and diterpene. Even you can find out the presence of essential oils. Oils like lemongrass oil. Okay. Even you can find out toxins. What are the best example you can give under toxins? Toxins is again a class which comes under secondary metabolites. Abrivin as well as rixin, they are the best example. Abrivin as well as rixin. Abrin, rixin are the examples of toxins. So we have studied pigments, alkaloids, terpenoids, essential oils, toxins. These are the very important classes of secondary metabolites, and even we have studied carotenes, anthocyanin, morphine, codeine, as well as monoterpene, diterpene, even lemongrass oil, abrin as well as rixin. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. The sixth one, this is very important. Okay, lectins. The best examples which comes under the class of lectins are concanavalin A. Yes, concanavalin A are coming under lectins, and we are left behind with the polymers as well as drugs. Yes, polymers as well as drugs. Can I write here? FG. Drugs. What are the best examples of secondary metabolites as drugs you can give? The best example is vinblastine. Yes, vinblastine. Okay, then curcumin is the best drugs coming under secondary metabolites. Then the last one is polymers, polymeric substance or polymers. Polymers, which is polymers means it is a chemical which is made up of the contribution of single units of monomers. Okay, your rubber, yes, rubber, gum, then even the cellulose are the examples of polymers. Pigments, alkaloids, terpenoids, essential oil, toxin, lectins, drugs, polymers. These are all the secondary metabolites, the different classes of secondary metabolites. Fine. Okay. You have an acid soluble pool, right, where you can find out the presence of even carbohydrate, proteins, fats, lipids, etc. Okay, which is having good amount of molecular weight. Right now we are going to see what you mean by micro and macro molecules. Okay. In the acid soluble pool, I can find out the presence of biomolecules, and I am categorizing this biomolecule as a 2. Biomolecules as a 2 based on the molecular weights that acquiring. Okay. These biomolecules based on the molecular weight categorized as 2. One is micro biomolecules, another one is known to be the macro. The name only says, right, micro biomolecules and macro biomolecules. What do you mean by micro? The smaller one. Macro, the larger one. The name says itself. How are you going to define this? Micro biomolecules are the substance which is ranging less than 1000 Daltons. Which substance in which is a substance in which has molecular weights less than 1000 Dalton. Okay, they are micro. What about macro? Here again the substance in which has molecular weight more than 1000 Dalton. 1000 Dalton. Okay. The best example I can give for micro biomolecules are all the monosaccharides, minerals, then into even water, H2O. Okay, they are the example. What about the macro biomolecules? Okay, the best example known to be the proteins. Okay, nearly the protein is having a molecular weight of even 38,002 in some cases. This is about biomolecules which are in the category of micro as well as macro. This is the definition, this is the example. Definition and the example. Proteins comes under macro, then monomers, minerals, water comes under micro biomolecules. Okay. Dear students, as we have discussed about primary as well as secondary biomolecules, we have discussed primary metabolites as well as secondary metabolites. Okay. What are the difference of this? What exactly mean by primary and secondary metabolites? Okay. So the primary metabolites directly taking part in the cell growth, development of an organism, which is giving rise to physiologic process such as respiration as well as kind of digestion too, respiration as well as digestion. And even the primary metabolites, almost all the primary metabolites are identical. Primary metabolites are identical, but in secondary metabolites you can find out many diversity. In secondary metabolites you can find out diverse of molecules. Primary metabolites are taking part or very much important. Okay, it is being produced in growth phase of cell, but secondary metabolites is produced in non-growth phase of a cell. Yes, this is about your primary and secondary metabolites. We have studied the definition, we have studied different chemical constituents of a cell, as well as the inorganic and organic constituent of a cell. Then how do you do the chemical analysis, then into primary, secondary metabolism, then micro and macro biomolecules we have studied, right? Okay. In this case, the primary and secondary metabolite, sometime the secondary metabolite is produced as a part of a primary metabolize. Means what? The primary metabolites are very important to initiate reaction or taking part in a primary reaction, and as the end product or as the product, sometime the secondary metabolites are produced, so that the quantity as well as the diversity is more in secondary metabolites compared to primary metabolites. So we have studied what is biomolecules, the different chemical composition, the metabolites, primary, secondary metabolites, carbohydrate, proteins as well as fats. They are the biological point of view we have classified. Then into micro as well as macro biomolecules we have studied with the examples, and different classes of secondary metabolites also we have studied. Then in next class we are directly involving in the whole discussion of proteins. Okay. So thank you so much for your patient listening, and read well, stay at home, stay safe, take care, have a nice day. Thank you.